Hello and welcome to the MiNameIsJake channel. Today is the Not-So-SHITE Gaming Awards, dedicated to games which I've actually enjoyed this year. A lot of them did not come out this year, because some of them are games that have been converted to Mac later on. Quite a lot of these are on the YouTube channel, so if you want to check out sort of longer playthroughs of them, of course, just do a Google search. Before I start, I'm recording this on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas in the UK. It's called Boxing Day for no reason at all. I got for Christmas Wolfenstein and Far Cry 4 for the PlayStation 4, and I enjoyed both of those a lot. They're not in the list because I kept them to 22, but they are very good games as well. If you want to pick them up for the PS4, they're very good. Another thing is the fact that with me saying it in this section, I don't have to try and record my PS4 because I haven't got a capture card for it, and it'd be a case of using Shadow Play or Share, whatever PlayStation has. That's probably terrible. So anyway, let's get into it. The first one is, of course, Race Driver Grid. The original Grid. I'm doing a Let's Play of that currently. It is still going. It's a fantastic game. It really is quite a lot of fun. After the issues I had with OBS, I actually reduced some of the settings to get it to run properly. And now I've managed to fix OBS. It runs at such a smooth quality. It's so fun to play. I really enjoyed that game. If you want to check it out, there's a Let's Play of it. I'm trying to currently sort of get all the trophies and try and keep everything level, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get sort of complete the game as like a priority, and then whenever I have a free slot, I can do more in the game, to get more of the other trophies that are not required to complete the storyline of the game, to sort of 100% it. So yeah, that's Race Driver Grid, a great purchase, available for PC and Mac. Just on PC, it's a lot cheaper. The next one we have on the list is another racing game. Probably it was the second proper video game I ever got, and I used to play it on PC. I managed to get this off of a friend very cheaply for PS2. I have a PlayStation 3 that has the chip or the emulator or whatever it is that lets you play PS2 games. I apologise for the sound in the background. Someone's washing up. So yeah, Need for Speed Carbon. Need for Speed Carbon is a game that was released in 2006, if I remember correctly. It is a very fun game. It featured auto sculpt. I liked Most Wanted as well, but Most Wanted wasn't quite as good for me, and I also haven't played it this year. I've played Need for Speed Carbon this year. We have next up Need for Speed Carbon. Now, I'm gonna sort of with this. I want to go more into the good games than sort of the bad ones. So Need for Speed Carbon. Just look for it. It was available on Mac, but it's for the power PCs. Obviously, they're now onto Intels, so that doesn't work. Although I'm sure you can still pick it up on Steam or at a game shop. You could probably pick it up as a CD. I mean, I bought this game twice on the PC because I bought it once, and that disc slowly got scratched and knackered. So then I bought the collector's edition in a sale. And as I say, since I have also bought this off with a mate. So next we have Unturned. Unturned is a game built by a 16-year-old. I think he's 16. He might not be 16 anymore, but I can't remember his name, and I don't want to say the wrong name. But Unturned 3.0 is currently sort of being developed. 2.2, I think, is the one that I've been playing. It's very good fun. I haven't played it since I got into some of the crafting stuff, but that should be coming back soon, hopefully. So yeah, Unturned, fantastic free-to-play game, or you can get a $5 gold upgrade. Definitely worth checking out. It's on Steam, available for Windows and Mac, and possibly Linux. I can't quite remember. The next we have is Jazzpunk. Now, Jazzpunk, I sort of did earlier in the year. I did two Let's Plays, Jazzpunk and Octodad. Jazzpunk came after, and it's sort of a fun, strange game. It's one of these things where you probably don't want to watch it because it'll spoil a lot of the fun in the game. So if you're interested in it, you better pick it up. It was very, very cheap, if I remember correctly, and especially with being, sort of the wintry sales, you might see it at a good price. So you definitely want to pick it up. I don't want to give too much away on it because all the fun is in detail, but very good humour. So yeah. And next, another game which was played a lot on the channel, which is Kerbal Space Program. Kerbal Space Program, I'm doing a Let's Play of. I'm in Season 2 of, due to the more recent updates where it went into beta. I also do the Kerbal Space Plane program, which I'm sort of halted on ideas for. So if you remember, the Kerbal Space Plane program is where you can suggest either planes such as Concorde or the Fokker DR1, or you can suggest challenges such as break the sound barrier or Mach 1, or well, that is the same thing. But you know what I mean. You can give challenges for me to do, and I have to sort of do them in maybe the quickest time or the cheapest cost, because that's now in the game. So yeah, Kerbal Space Program, I have 2 Let's Plays of it. Check the channel again. It's also available on Steam for Windows, Mac, and possibly Linux. The next game is No More Room in Hell, and it's, if I remember correctly, it's a free game. It's a mod for Source. So No More Room in Hell is a bit like Zombie Mode from Black Ops or whatever, put onto Source. So you might think, oh, it's like Left 4 Dead, but it's sort of different. It's that sort of round-based thing. And there's another thing which is sort of like the sort of story mode as well. It's great fun. As I say, it's free. If you want to, I did it in the Horror Week. I've had more fun with it. Horror Week, in a way, to me, is like a terrible representation of it. A series I'm thinking of doing soon is Jake Revisits, and like Counter-Strike is one that I'm going to revisit once I've got some more hours into it. This one is one I want to revisit and try and do a proper video on, showing its qualities. It's just I needed to get it up for the Horror Week, which is why I didn't try and record another episode. And there's also, what's the other game that I want to do? Jake Revisits. Unturned, because I played that in a very early alpha in the Horror Week that I downloaded ages ago. But then when I went to go and get the link for it to show people to the site, it was very, it was based on release candidate, so it's almost released, so I do want to go back to it. So yes, Octodad, back to the sort of the games in the list. Octodad, Dadliest Catch is a second game from people who made Octodad. I think it was sort of a school project. Great game, great to play with the kids. I mean, you should. I mean, I think it's £7 on PlayStation or whatever. If it's a game that you want during these sort of Christmassy times, or I mean, I know some people end up having a party in sort of the later things, later on into the new year. If you want to play some games, it's very fun. There is some DLC which has come out, which I'm going to be playing. So yeah. The next one is The Plan, and this is probably going to be the shortest one I talk about any of them, but The Plan, it's free on Steam for Windows and Mac. Just download it. Don't even look at the series on my channel until you've played it yourself. It's a very small download, and it should be a lot of fun for you. Robocraft is the next one. Robocraft is sort of one of those grindy games where you sort of, you play a game and you get points for it and you can spend the points. And it's sort of like, the reason why I like this is what I originally bought Gary's mod for, which is sort of what the Yogscast did first with Gary's mod, which was the building of spaceships and the sort of Top Gear style challenges. Robocraft do that very, very well. So it's sort of, build and then fight in teams. I think there's even a free-for-all option. And then with all the points you get, you can then spend it on upgrading parts. You have a CPU allowance, which is sort of like each item uses more CPU, so you also upgrade your CPU. It's a very, very fun game. It's free as well. Free is good, especially with no microtransactions. I think there is microtransactions in that, though, to like speed up time or whatever. So yeah, but like the microtransactions do not take away from the play at all. It's a very enjoyable game. Next up, we have a mod for Portal 2 called Thinking with Time Machine. It's very nice if you sort of, you like Portal 2, and you want something sort of new. Thinking with Time Machine adds a great new dynamic to Portal 2. It's a free mod, so if you own Portal 2, go ahead and download it. Available for Windows, Mac, and I'm definitely pretty much 99% sure it's for Linux, because that's what Portal is available on. So yeah, it adds some of the controls could do with changing slightly. There is a new one, not a new one coming out, but there's a new mod coming in 2015 for like conversion or convention or something, which I want to take a look at when it comes out. But as I say, it's not out yet. It said 2015. That's the only date we've got. So yeah, Thinking of Time Machine. Next up, we have Tomb Raider, a series I've started recently. I think there's only 2 episodes up. There might be more episodes up now, but as I'm recording this, only 2 videos up. It's a very good game. I mean, Square Enix, I'm not like loyal to the company or anything, I mean, the first game I got, which I didn't even realise was Square Enix, was Thief on the PS4. That's a terrible game. I think that was in the Shite games. Tomb Raider is a really fun game. I haven't played a previous Tomb Raider. I'm talking about the 2013, 2014 one. It's something which, if they bring out a second one, I know there's like Lara Croft and there's something, which is sort of a different branch, which to me looks just like a ported iOS game, which is why I'm taking it out. But if there's sort of like a Tomb Raider 2 type of thing, it'll be something I definitely look into, because I really enjoy the game, and I have a Let's Play of it, so go and Google it on my YouTube channel. Next we have Torchlight. Torchlight is a mod I got, game I got in, I think, the Yogscast Humble Bundle, the first time they did it, and that is a game I play it a lot when I'm sort of bored of Minecraft and I want another game to sink time into. Torchlight is one I pick up. It's sort of like the Dota type of game, it feels like, but I enjoy it. You know, I have some female character, and then my pet's called Wolfie from Farland or Bust. I just enjoy the game. You know, it's not something I go back to all the time, but if I'm sort of having a break from something, this is the second thing I go to, and it is a lot of fun. Next we have PT and Outlast. I've sort of put these together because I haven't finished either of them, because I'm a scaredy cat. You know, so PT is the playable teaser or playable trailer for South Hill, not South Hill. That game, you know what I mean. Silent Hill, that's the one. Outlast, of course, is a great game. I got Outlast. PT, the demo is free on PS4. Outlast was free because of PlayStation Plus at the when I purchased it, in quotes. So it's sort of horror games. They're not that fantastic with horror games. But I mean, I suppose with some of the horror games that I am seeing sort of now, I might be able to do a better horror week next year, or this year technically now. It's the 1st of January, I'm calling the future. Next we have Need for Speed The Run. Now this was a game which came out a while ago, and I bought it and then put it away because it was another horrible NFS game. But I picked it up again today, not today, but you know, sort of October, November time, and I finished it. From what I'd done, I'd done about 3/4 of it. It was on the last quarter, and you know, I enjoyed that last quarter. Maybe because I tried to like just put it in the PlayStation and complete the game, similar to what I did with the first time I played Portal 2, which probably didn't work. You know, I mean, it's sort of a game to sort of play a bit and go back to, because it is a lot of repetition. Struggling. The only thing I didn't like about it is the fact that sort of if you came second, that's not good enough. You always had to restart and come first. So if you're just like, sod it, I want to do something else different, you couldn't. You had to get first in every single thing, and it was a bit annoying. Also, some of the issues, I think there's Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed, the sort of the newish one. That one had too much issue of, like, if you went into a corner at 30 of them in like the most grippiest car you can imagine, you'd go sideways or you'd skitter off into a wall. Need for Speed is not that bad. I think the engine and graphic is sort of a bit meh, but that's probably because it's on a PS3. But yeah, it's a good game. You know, if you see it for like £4 or £5 or whatever, some cheap discount store, it's one to pick up and have a game play with. Next up, we have quite a legendary game actually. It was articled quite a lot due to its way due to the way that it gets around piracy. Game Dev Tycoon. So, before I go into the game, the way it got around piracy was if you downloaded a pirated version, or they released a pirated version that people could pirate, you know, hiding themselves that they weren't the real company. And what it did was halfway through, it'd say, sadly everyone's pirated your game and you've not got any money left. Because they're an indie company, by the way. It's not like Roller Coaster Tycoon, who I think is made by quite a large company. Don't go ballistic if I'm wrong, and it's some small indie company everybody loves. But Game Dev Tycoon, it'd sort of say, you know, we have been going for, you know, they'd sort of say, you're an indie dev, and you've got no money because people keep pirating your stuff a lot like us, and then that's the end of the game. You can't go any further because you've run out of money, which is quite a legendary thing. So Game Dev Tycoon is also about building games. You start right from the sort of beginning of gaming, all the way up to, I think they released, I think it used to go up to like 30 years of business, and then recently they patched it to include, so it went, when it first released, it sort of went up to Xbox 360 and PS3 being released, and that's when it like sort of cut off as the career finished, because of course it can't really predict the future. But recently it's been updated, and you've sort of got like an extra 5 or 6 or 7 years up to sort of 38, maybe they might have even done up to 40 just so it's even. Where what they do is they it's the start of the Xbox One, PS4, the Wii U, and the Wii is sort of in there as well. So I hope they keep that semi-updated. I mean, even if I have to pay like 99p just to get the next 10 years of, when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X-Craft, I don't know, whatever they decide to call the stupid thing next. So yeah, Game Dev Tycoon, quite a good game. 1916, the Überkante Krieg, I sound like that's the thing. So that was the first of Jake Plays. It was highly edited. It was meant to be quite fun and funny. I originally watched KSI play it. I think it's a free game. You can even play it in browser if you're bored at school and want to scare the crap out of someone. Basically, it's running away from robot dinosaurs. Great fun. So the next game is Speedrunner and Speedrunners. They're both by Tiny Built Games, or Tiny Built. Can't quite remember. All I've literally got here is a list of games, and if they're on YouTube, and if I've done a YouTube series, I can download them off or not. So Speedrunner was a free online game. Sort of, there's one character, you run away from them. It has it has a lot of the same stuff as Speedrunners, but obviously because there's no PvP in quotes, there's like no rockets or anything in there. Speedrunners is now the multiplayer version playing off that. I've actually bought Speedrunners in a sale because apparently it is coming to Mac eventually. And the fact that I've enjoyed Kurt, Milby, and a bunch of other people enjoying it so much, they deserve £3 in my mind. It's great fun. I always look forward to seeing those videos. So yeah, if you are on a Windows machine, get Speedrunners, great fun. Next we have a game which is actually also only for Windows, but I managed to play it thanks to Crossover, the horrible program that was in the Shite Games list. So Euro Truck Simulator 2, I've had some great fun with it. I've had some fun moments. I've streamed it a few times. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. I never got into modding it. I played a lot of the multiplayer as well. That's a lot of fun. The multiplayer is just the best. I couldn't figure out how to mod it because of the straight bottles and stuff which I had to go through. It wasn't the game's fault. But the multiplayer which I managed to get working, a load of fun. So yeah, great game. The next one is something I thought I might get for Christmas, but I decided not to. Depending on money and things, I might get it on PS4. But it's GTA 5. I have enjoyed this game so much on PlayStation 3. It's very fun. I mean, I've got one of my dream cars in the game, the Corvette, the new Corvette. I know they've now got the old Stingray, because it looks like the Stingray, and that's sort of like my favourite car. Probably one I could never afford. But it is still reasonable. It's not like some Lamborghini Aventador, although some YouTubers can afford that. So yeah, I really enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. I don't really play it with any friends, which is like a main issue. Sometimes it gets a bit boring, and I wish there was more. Sort of going from mission to mission. I wish there was more sort of lifestyle stuff to do. I thought if I got it on PS4 and if I got a capture card, I might sort of do like a day in the life of whoever my character's called. I can't even remember. So yeah, GTA 5, great game. Get it on PS4 or Xbox One, or wait until soon, because this is technically in January. It's meant to come out early 2015 or even in January. I can't remember the exact date for PC. So yeah. The next game is a game. I don't like doing demos. I don't like doing demos on the channel because it's a bit cheaty. It's like, even, I'm going to make £8 from this, which I could spend on buying the game, but no, because I made the money from the demo. But the reason why I decided to do this on the channel is the fact that, again, a game used through Parallels. I think it's currently only available for Windows, unless they've made one since. Stanley Parable, the demo, is... What I like about this is it isn't just like they take one mission from the game and you play this mission and you have sort of no backstory or anything. Just do you enjoy it? Yes, then do this. It's a completely different game, which some people might think, well, that's terrible because how does somebody play the game? But it introduces you to the humor. It plays on the fact that it's a demo. It really is a great thing. I mean, even if you own the Stanley Parable, you should also get the demo. The demo is free, of course. If you don't have the Stanley Parable, you can still get the demo. And just play that first. I definitely think that if you play the demo, it's one of the only games that'll make you sort of definitely want to go and get the actual full thing. I mean, the only thing where I had such a strong urge to get the full thing was with Burnout Paradise. When I first played that, that's a great game. I've played it this year, technically, trying to complete it, but it didn't come on here because I haven't played it that much. The next thing's coming up is not actually a game, but it's mods for Minecraft, and it's the Flans mod, and it is the X-Heli. Heli X-Heli mod. Is it? MC Heli, sorry, MC. It says X Heli mod, but that's a manufacturer of remote control helicopters. It's actually technically called the MC Heli mod. Check it. I need to check it because I've come up with a thing. Anyway, so the Flans mod and the MC Heli mod create a lot of fun. If you would like to play them, just Google them. It's simple enough, or you can Google on my YouTube channel for the Boys Toys mod pack. They are the main two central mods in that I'm currently working on. I need to do more on that. I need to get the website set up. That's the next thing I need to do. Yeah, they're a great load of fun. I mean, flying planes in Minecraft, especially in the Boys Toys mod pack, because I've added extra structures and different bosses and stuff you could take on with the planes. You know, it's not just you can shoot a pigman maybe if you wanted to. Something which I saw Atho doing in Flyboys, which is quite fun, was flying a helicopter through the nether, because of course, you know, there's ledges and there's you know, roof above you, you know, it's almost like that game that Flappy Birds came from, you know, the iHeli or whatever it is, where you have to tap to keep it going. It felt a lot like that, going through all these tiny canyons in a helicopter. I mean, if you do it in a jet, I can't imagine how hot that would be. So yeah, the Flans and X-Heli mod, Google them if you want the mod separately, and there are a bunch of other mod packs that use them. But of course, I'm gonna recommend my own mod pack, Boys Toys. Just Google on the YouTube channel and you'll find it. I now say Google instead of search all the time. And then the next one, it's the only game that like I enjoy on my phone. He says he waggles an iPhone very perilously close. And that is Tiny Wings. It's a very old game. It hasn't been updated in ages. It looks a little bit weird on the iPhone 6 Plus because of the big screen, you know. I don't think it's been updated since the iPhone 4 days, so, you know, it's a bit of a, definitely a major stretch on the iPhone 6 Plus. It might have been updated for the iPhone 5, I can't remember. But it hasn't been updated in a while, and it's just a fun game. It's from, it was sort of the game which was dwarfed out by Angry Birds. You know, it sort of came out at the same time. Well, it's not a direct play, but it's a great lot of fun. I know there's some similar ones on the internet. I'm not even sure if you can download it from the App Store because I back everything up to the iTunes, so it's directly coming from my computer. But if you can look on the App Store for Tiny Wings, I'm not sure if it's available on Android and on this. But if not, there's sort of like this penguin versions with similar stuff. But the Angry Birds, I love the art style, it's free, there's no microtransactions as far as I can see. If I'm wrong, don't, you know, if I'm waiting a doctor's surgery, waiting at a dentist, you know, just waiting around, I just start up Tiny Wings, and it's great fun. So yeah, that's the Not-So-Shy games, and quite a lot of great games available. A lot of them are free, which is fantastic. If anything, just go through the video again quickly, and just list down all the free games, because you know, they're either all available on Steam through a quick Google search, or of course with Tiny Wings, it's available on your phone. Get it, have a good, hopefully it's still available on phone. Just go have a quick play. They're free. Why not have a play? If you enjoy them, you can maybe you know, just donate options, or such as standard parable demo. You can get the full version, which is a completely different game. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the new year. I hope it's good for you. I hope it's good for me, because let's be honest, 2014 was not a fantastic year for anybody. You know what I mean? Russia almost nuked Ukraine. Korea have been a bit strange, especially with the movie thing. I need to get that. I might watch that just like. I'm not bothered if the movie's good or not. I just want to stick my finger up to Russia, not Russia. I like to stick my finger up to Russia as well, but I mean to Kim Jong. Not very well, whatever his face is. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a great year. I'm going to talk in a Minecraft video probably, because it's a bit more calm, about sort of New Year resolutions, sort of. I don't really do New Year's resolution, but you know, things that sort of like, I'm going to try and do this, because YouTube originally in 2012 was a New Year's resolution, which sort of went okay for 2012. 2013, it got a bit terrible because it was like, I've done a year, thank God, relax. And I kind of feel that way now. It's like, I don't really want to make a video soon, which is sort of why I'm just doing this, just to try and get me back in the mood. But the reason why is that But 2014, I've tried to get back on again, and I think I've done very well. I mean, I've gone from 5 videos per week to 7 videos per week, back to 14. This year, I'm going to try and concentrate more on quality and trying to grow the channel more. So, I mean, if I go all the way back to 5 videos a week, as long as they're getting good views, that's better to me. I mean, it's quality over quantity, although I don't think the quality is too poor. Microphones will be sorted out first. I got one for Christmas, which isn't quite working how I want to, but I'm looking at new microphones. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheerio.